This is the newsroom for Friday, January 21, 2021. We're broadcasting to you on E1, Scar TV, NTN, and Tarzi TV in Bartica. In the headlines, former Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson and former Harbour Bridge boss Ralston Adams are questioned by SOCU over a questionable contract for a study done on the new Demerara River crossing. A former Army captain releases an hour-long documentary featuring Guyana's rich biodiversity. In tonight's feature, we tell you about the forgotten Frontline supermarket workers. And in sports, stakeholders working to get Olympic swimming prospects back in the pool, and West Indies 148 not enough for rampant Bangladesh in second ODI. With the news, I'm Kurt Campbell. We're glad you can join us. First up, the Special Organized Crime Unit, SOCU, has taken up the police investigation into the decision of the former David Granger-led government to sole source the award of a contract for a feasibility study and design of the new Demerara River crossing. On Friday, former Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson and former General Manager of the Demerara Harbour Bridge Corporation Ralston Adams were questioned by SOCU investigators. Former Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson was on Friday summoned to the Special Organized Crime Unit, SOCU, for questioning in relation to his involvement in the award of a contract for the feasibility study and design of the Demerara River crossing. Also questioned on Friday was former General Manager of the Demerara Harbour Bridge Corporation Ralston Adams. The newsroom was reliably informed that both Patterson and Adams were invited to SOCU for questioning about their involvement in the award of the contract for the study and design of the new Demerara Harbour Bridge. While the newsroom witnessed Patterson's arrival at SOCU around noon, Adams had availed himself earlier in the day to be interviewed separately. Patterson dodged the media, and his attorney, when asked by the media what the meeting was about, refused to answer and instead spoke about Patterson's concern about West Indies cricket.
Talk about Mr. Patterson's concerns about the West Indies cricket team. Their performance has been extremely disappointing, and it looks like the tour to Bangladesh is quite ruinous. Unfortunately, he said he isn't available to replace any of the middle order. But if they needed a pace batsman, a pace bowler, he's ready and willing to take the flight to Bangladesh.
So we're happy about the humour, but we really want to know why would SOCU request him here? Any discussions were held, and what was it about?
You had to ask SOCU.
Have to ask him?
Yeah, you had to ask him or so.
Okay. Patterson spent less than 10 minutes in the building before leaving with his attorney. In November 2020, the police had launched an investigation into the award of a contract to conduct a feasibility study and design of the new Demerara Harbour Bridge in 2016. The police were reportedly investigating the spending and actions of individuals in the awarding of the contract. The People's Progressive Party Civic, while in opposition, had requested that the Public Procurement Commission investigate the award of the $145 million sole-sourced contract. On Wednesday last, the matter came up before the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament. Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Public Works, Vladimir Prasad, told the PAC that initially some 22 companies had submitted expressions of interest, but only 12 were shortlisted. He said only 2 companies submitted proposals when asked to do so, but only one of the 2 companies demonstrated the technical capabilities to carry out the study. The company was not chosen because the price proposal far exceeded the budget and the methodology and approach deviated from the terms of reference. That, along with failure to consult and revise, led to the annulment of the procurement process, and the decision was taken to retender. It was at this stage that the cabinet of David Granger's government reportedly took a decision not to retender but to facilitate the award of the contract through sole sourcing, instead of going through the procurement board, as the law says should be done. The report from the investigation conducted by the PPC noted that the bid from the company was unsolicited, but Patterson took the company's proposal to cabinet for approval and it was granted. The report stated that monies to be spent on the project were taken from the Demerara Harbour Bridge Corporation asphalt plant accounts. We tell you now that a 26-year-old sales representative employed with BPATS was robbed by an armed bandit of $8 million in cash, a silver motor car with license plates PSS 1855, and a Samsung cellular phone valued at $40,000. Kevin Gildari of Labon Intention, East Coast Demerara, was on duty at the time of the robbery. The car and cash belonged to the company. The The robbery occurred on Thursday at about 16:30 hours in front of M&A Express located at Monrepo Pasture. The newsroom understands that Gildari stopped at the business place to collect cash, and while leaving, he was confronted by the bandit. Police headquarters in a statement noted that the Gildari said he tried to fight off the bandit, but he pulled out a handgun and hit him to the neck. Police said the suspect then drove off with the cash inside the car. When the newsroom returns, a former Army captain releases an hour-long documentary featuring Guyana's rich biodiversity. Stay tuned. A 1 hour-long documentary filmed titled Songs and Colors of the Rainforest captures unmatched footage of Guyana's rich biodiversity. The film, which is produced by renowned Guyanese Defense Force helicopter pilot Mike Charles, took 8 years to document and cost over $25 million. But despite the exorbitant cost, Charles said the documentary will be sold at a cheap cost due to the lack of copyright laws here. Isnella Patwa has her story.
Guyana's outdated copyright laws offer little to none protection to persons in the arts and entertainment sector, and as such, a renowned Army pilot, photographer, and producer, Mike Charles, is calling on the authorities to have the laws updated. Charles on Thursday launched his 4th documentary film on Guyana's rich biodiversity. Because of the outdated copyright laws, the $25 million documentary entitled Songs and Colors of the Rainforest will see poor returns on the intellectual property. According to Charles, it is pertinent that the government address this issue so producers and artists can have better financial benefits from their work.
It takes a great deal of financial investment and personal sacrifice to produce these videos. But sadly, the returns on the intellectual property has been negligible. Guyana needs updated copyright legislation to be enacted without delay. Songs and Colors of the Rainforest is my 4th video production. These videos continue to astound Guyanese and visitors alike. They awaken a sense of pride in us all.
The launch, which was held at the Artichon Conference Center, Greater Georgetown, was attended by Prime Minister Brigadier Mark Phillips, other government ministers, and members of the diplomatic corps. Meanwhile, Charles, who is a helicopter pilot for over 37 years, said the profession allows him to experience firsthand the beauty of Guyana, and because of its sheer magnificence, he felt it best to share the experience with the world. So Charles began producing videos and also got involved in photography. The film features the most unique and rare species found in Guyana's deep rainforests and savannas. Here are a few clips.
I'm filming one of the spoonbill.
The roseate spoonbill is a glorious bird found in the swamplands of the North Atlantic coastline. The greater flamingos are by far the brightest and one of the largest of all flamingos. Emerald tree boas are non-venomous tree-dwelling snakes. These superb climbers use their prehensile tail and body to coil tightly onto trees for ascent. Kaieteur Falls is the world's largest single-drop waterfall by volume. The rooster-tailed cicada is beautiful with its fragile, feather-like tail. The bushmaster is the largest pit viper in the world, reaching a length of more than 3 meters and highly venomous. They live in remote, heavily forested terrain in Guyana and are considered the deadliest snake in the Americas. Our rainforest functions as part of the lungs of the earth, continuously recycling carbon dioxide into oxygen. The red-bellied macaw is a medium-sized parrot that will not resist feeding on awara. The South American rattlesnake is ranked among the most dangerous of snakes. They possess venom which is neurotoxic, causing muscle paralysis, respiratory distress, and death if not treated without delay.
We live in the land of many waters. We have large rivers. We have 276 waterfalls, 18 major lakes. Flora and fauna abound in our millions of hectares of intact rainforests. I've been flying those rainforests for 37 years, and I can tell you, it's something pleasurable to be flying over. The videos that I've produced over the years have gone international. You can find them on every continent except Antarctica. But who knows, this one might just get there sometime. They have helped to popularize Guyana as an ecotourism destination, placing Guyana among the elite as a recommended must-visit country. I'd like to thank the Minister of Industry, Tourism Industry and Commerce, Honorable Audrey Alicock, and her team for partnering with me in making this launch a success. I'd like to also thank His Excellency, Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, for his unwavering support in making this production a success. We were in a lull for 8 years because of plenty issues here, especially copyright issues. So I thank you all here for the attendance, and I encourage everybody, Guyanese or foreigners, to obtain a copy, since I am confident that this will be another collector's item shortly.
According to Charles, the film would not have been possible without the support of President Irfan Ali. He also expressed sincere gratitude to his team and said they have much more to offer. In October 2011, Charles was awarded the Medal of Service for his contribution to aviation, photography, and videography in Guyana. Persons can visit arielguyana.com to either stream or download a copy of the film. Reporting for the Newsroom, I am Isanella Pato.
We tell you now that a new online interactive tourism magazine launched on Thursday is a complete guide to food, entertainment and travel, the authentic Guyanese way. The magazine, also available in hard copy, is titled Tourism Guyana and highlights the captivating stories of the destination, targeting local and international travelers. Sheena Henry tells us more.
Co-founder of the magazine, Fiaz Yamin, during the launch held at the Humaniana in Kingston, Georgetown, explained that the foundation of the magazine started as a passion project among the 4 members of creative marketing company and himself.
As this beautiful country is a melting pot of amazing cultures, foods, sports, fantastic wildlife, and immense natural beauty. So fittingly, we had a fantastic base in which we can begin showcasing more of Guyana to the world.
Deputy Director of the Guyana Tourism Authority, Kamrul Baksh, congratulated the magazine's team and publishers for a successful and planned delivery.
The Tourism Guyana magazine portrays our country in a light that is remarkably beautiful and authentic, and provides that snapshot of a diversified, exhilarating experiences awaiting travelers.
Baksh revealed that Tourism Guyana continues to be one of the leading travel influencers in Guyana since its launch in 2018. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Brigadier Mark Phillips on Thursday at another event reiterated the government's commitment to grow and develop the tourism industry. According to the Prime Minister, over the next 5 years, the tourism industry will see massive transformation and unprecedented levels of investment. Reporting for the Newsroom, I'm Sheena Henry.
Still ahead on the Newsroom, we tell you about the forgotten Frontline supermarket workers. Thank you for staying with us. You're watching the Newsroom. The Ministry of Health is closely monitoring several populated areas across the 10 administrative regions following a spike in COVID-19 cases. During his daily update on Friday, Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony revealed that among the areas being closely monitored are New Amsterdam in Region 6, Ramadang Village in Upper Mazaruni Region 7, St. Cuthbert's Mission in the Mahaika River Region 4, and Maraiko Bay Region 5.
Region 6, we have a spike, as I told you earlier in the week, in New Amsterdam, and that's something that we have been working on, and we have been doing contact tracing. We have 36 persons who have tested positive in New Amsterdam. In the other regions, we have been looking at Warramadong because we've had a number of cases there. And again, we continue to monitor. We have a medical team in the community. There's a resident doctor there, and we have added some additional personnel where they can continue doing testing and assisting the doctor who is on site there. We have also been looking at St. Cuthbert's. We have had a number of cases in St. Cuthbert's. Currently there are 20 cases that right now we are monitoring. And today, a health team is going to go in to do an additional appraisal of the situation there to see what are the driving factors causing us to get these new cases. And after that assessment, we'll be in a better position to take some additional measures.
Throughout the pandemic, supermarket employees worked tirelessly in uncertain times to ensure that Guyanese all over the country were well stocked with the supplies they needed to survive a global pandemic. Classed as essential workers since the introduction of the national COVID-19 emergency measures in April last year, some may feel that the coronavirus was left in 2020. But it's a reality that supermarket staff face daily. The Newsroom's Daniel Swain joins us.
Putting themselves at risk during a global pandemic, supermarket workers deal with scores of customers, checking out items, rapidly restocking shelves, and monitoring stock, all while assisting with queries and managing lines to enter the supermarket. The Newsroom spoke with some supermarket workers to find out how they've been managing the pandemic since the first imported case of COVID-19 was announced on March 11, 2020. Let's hear from them.
Hi, good morning. My name is Leela Singh. I'm cashier here. I've been here for the past 3 years. I've resigned and I have returned as a cashier for the past 18 months. I was the first one that got the news because I was dealing with the customer that got that news first of all. And she told me, she said, you know, somebody just died at GPHC. So everybody got frantic. Everybody was, you know, on the edge. Up to the other day, we had a scenario where we had a customer outside. He barged right in the supermarket, didn't have on a mask. When the security tried to stop him, that was a whole big issue. He started creating a whole big issue. So yes, we do encounter a lot of problems here at Real Value. For the customers and the general public, people please, you need to wear your mask. You need to take the precautions because this is a disease. This is a situation that is not going to go anywhere in a hurry. Please abide by the guidelines, do the necessary, and of course, everybody's going to be safe.
My name is Felicia Frank. I'm a sales representative and I've been with BPAD for approximately 1.5 years. Don't know who has what and they're coming in on a daily basis towards you. You are on the front line with all the customers, you know, you don't know. So you still have to take good precautions because you don't know when and how they will have it. Please maintain social distancing, wear your mask, sanitize regularly, wash your hands before you do something, especially if you're going and eat, wash your hands before and after.
My name is Jonathan Jeffrey. I work in the beverage department at Real Value. I've been working here for over 4 years now, and I'm in charge of the purchasing and stock taking for the beverage department. We follow the guidelines. We sanitize often. We wear a mask, wash our hands, and just boost our immune system so that way we can prevent the virus here.
My name is Sheena Allen and I am a cashier at Massey Stores. I've been here just over a year. It has been quite challenging experience, having to deal with the public daily and then going home to my loved ones, trying to keep safe all the time and ensuring that the public is safe as well. COVID-19 is real, very real. I think most persons, because no one is affected for them, I think they're not accepting the fact, but it is very much real and it's an individual effort to ensure that you're safe and that your family, you remain safe so that your family can be safe at home. If you're not feeling well, please seek medical help. Wear your mask at all times. Sanitize. If you cannot wash your hands, please sanitize. Ensure that you maintain social distancing while in public. It is a real thing and we need to always remain safe.
When the newsroom returns, the financial, weather and bridge reports along with sport. Welcome back to the newsroom. Now for sport. We start things off with some swimming news. The Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport, Charles Ramson Jr., recently met with executives of the Guyana Amateur Swimming Association, assuring them of his ministry's support in getting the Olympic prospects and all the national swimmers back in the pool. Akim Green reports.
The minister met with the association's president, Dwayne Scott, vice president Ranulph Dos Santos, and treasurer Valkemi Singh, along with coach Sean Bash and national swimmers Andrew Fowler and Alika Prasad. Despite sport activities being allowed to resume pending approval of the Minister of Health since November 1st, 2020, swimming was one sport which still did not make a restart, given that swimming pools, by functional design, bring people into close proximity. According to a FINA return to the pool guideline, normal pool sanitation with chlorine has been shown to inactivate the COVID-19 virus. FINA has received confirmation of this through a recent study conducted by the University of Medical Center of UTEC, providing evidence that COVID-19 inactivation occurs in chlorinated water at conditions that are acceptable to swimmers. As such, Scott said the minister asked for them to prepare a list of swimmers they want to resume training at the National Aquatic Center at Liniendal and explain how they plan to safeguard the swimmers. Apart from the Olympic Games this year, the Crave Swimming Championships are still scheduled for April in Barbados.
At this meeting, we have discussed working to have our Olympic athletes be able to get back into training, about not only our Olympic athletes, all our athletes who were looking to take part in events this year. The minister indicated that he will work and provide us with a solution for that, and he promised that before the end of the week, we should have access to the pool for the athletes to train. He took responsibility of working it out with the task force and the Ministry of Health, and they asked us to provide him with a list of details and names and actions that we will take to protect the athletes.
Scott further revealed that they should be granted permission for sessions to restart at the Castellani pool, and that the Colgreen pool will be designated for clinics for young swimmers.
The minister, along with his team, is working on some improvements at both the Aquatic Center at Colgreen, and he's subsequently working to allow us access again to Castellani House. Colgreen should be up and running before the end of the month. He specifically wants us to use Colgreen for our clinic program, which is for young swimmers development, and he'd indicated that maybe by the end of March, April, we should have access to Castellani House. Both facilities will undergo some level of rehabilitation, which is good for swimming because now it will allow us access to more facilities within Georgetown.
The Gaza head said once they can prepare a budget, they could receive assistance from the ministry for the Olympic hopefuls. This is in addition to the support from the Guyana Olympic Association.
For the athletes who are being involved in Olympic preparation, the minister indicated that he is also willing to assist us with some financials to take them through this developmental phase. We need to put together a budget and an approach to minister on this, and he will advise us on what can be made available. This is notwithstanding the fact that all these athletes currently do have some form of support from the Guyana Olympic Association. It will not be a duplication, but it will be an addition to that because some expenses have gone up due to the COVID and different circumstances.
Scott further discussed plans for the expansion of swimming outside of Georgetown to areas such as Linden, Berbice and Iflock, since there are already some infrastructure at these areas. For the newsroom, Akim Green.
Captain Jason Mohammed believes inexperience played a big part in West Indies losing both ODIs thus far against Bangladesh. Batting first on both occasions, West Indies made 122 and 148, and the hosts easily knocked off the targets. It means the final game on January 25 will be one of academic interest for Bangladesh, but the Caribbean side will aim to avoid a series sweep.
I think the wicket look a lot better today. We thought if we bat first and put some runs on the board, we could have defended to even bowl out the team. So I think that was the idea behind it. No, obviously we know it's a little bit inexperienced. A lot of guys making the debut. Obviously the guys have the potential. I think we just not putting the performances together. We're not being able to put big partnerships so individuals get into big scores. So the guys are capable. So hopefully we can put that right in the last game. Obviously, there are two quality spinners, especially Shakib, one of the best in the world, and Mindy has been very well for Bangladesh as well. So they have been good, and we have not been able to manage them, hence the reason why I've been getting those low totals. I think when we get there, then we will formulate the plan, looking at the conditions and seeing what we will do and what plans we will put in place to try and put in a better performance.
And Angelo Matthews ground out a century for Sri Lanka as England's bowlers battled hard on the first day of the second test in Galle. The hosts were 7 for 2 when James Anderson claimed 2 early wickets and then 76 for 3 when the seamer struck after lunch. But on a flat pitch in grueling heat, Matthews hit a measured 107 not out as Sri Lanka closed on 229 for 4. Matthews put on 117 with captain Dinesh Chandimal, who made 52 before being trapped leg before by Mark Wood. Niroshan Dikwala finished the day 90 not out, with Sri Lanka in a position from which they believe they can post a telling first innings score. And Guyana has been confirmed as one of 25 national federations to compete in the FIBA 3-on-3 AmeriCup 2021. The format will see 12 men and 12 women's national teams competing in the main draw. The 2021 FIBA 3-on-3 AmeriCup is scheduled for November 2021 and will be confirmed once the host nation is assigned. Due to the number of eligible teams, the FIBA 3-on-3 AmeriCup 2021 will have to be played with a main draw and a qualifier. A number of teams will qualify directly to the main draw, while the rest of the teams shall qualify via a qualification draw or a qualification tournament. The top 25 ranked national federations will compete directly in the FIBA 3-on-3 AmeriCup 2021 or for qualification tournament to advance to the AmeriCup 2021. As of November 1, 2020, Guyana is currently ranked 23 in the Americas zone of 43 national federations in 3-on-3 basketball. And with that, we've come to the end of the news for this evening. My name is Avinash Ramzan. Thanks for listening.